we know you've been waiting for this one. We're talking about the Cathedral Shrine of Our Lady of Guadalupe. Join us for episode 9 as we stop downtown at the heart of our diocese. Today, the Cathedral Shrine of Our Lady of Guadalupe serves one of the largest cathedral congregations in the country, second only to St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York City. It is the bishop's church, meaning that it is the seat of the bishop, and the word for that is Cathedral, which is where we get the name cathedral. So the bishop's seat at the center of the diocese is here in this cathedral. It's before the current cathedral, actually the first bishop of Dallas, Bishop Brennan, designated the Church of the Sacred Heart to be the pro-cathedral, or temporary cathedral, as there wasn't really one at the beginning of the diocese's founding. The first priest actually to be ordained in Dallas by Bishop Brennan in that pro-cathedral was an Irish immigrant named Father Jeffrey Harnett, who's known as the Martyr Priest. This is a really cool story that I didn't know about. In February of 1899, there was a really awful blizzard and a cold spell, and the Trinity and the Brazos rivers actually both froze over. And there was a patient dying of smallpox in Parkland Hospital who requested a minister. And Father Jeffrey Harnett was a priest at the pro-cathedral, and he was the only one who was able to go. So he actually walked to Parkland Hospital, was able to baptize that patient and to bring him into the church. But in doing so, he became sick, and he actually died of smallpox himself on March 7th of that same year. About a year later, after Father Harnett's passing, the cornerstone was laid for a new Sacred Heart Cathedral, which is the cathedral building we have now. It was finished and dedicated in 1902, and actually it includes a stained glass window of Father Harnett, along with other stained glass windows in the building. The dedication was a huge event. It was one of the special features of the building was about 1,000 electric lights. In a time when electricity was still not super common in buildings, it required so much power that the electric company actually asked the church to tell them when they were turning on the lights so that they could make sure there was enough power to run it all. Newspaper coverage actually said that the cathedral was so well lit, they said it was probably the most well-lighted church in America. As Dallas residents began moving out to the suburbs, the Catholic community had to kind of be rearranged, and so we had to really close a couple of parishes and combine them. And so what was decided was that they would close the parish of Our Lady of Guadalupe in downtown and combine that with Sacred Heart Cathedral Parish. And so it was also decided at the time, in 1965, that they would call the new combined parish, which had been Sacred Heart Cathedral, they would call it the Cathedral Shrine of Our Lady of Guadalupe. And actually some of the finishing touches were still being done on the building and were only completed in 2005, including the bell tower and the steeple. The patronage of the Cathedral Shrine of Our Lady of Guadalupe, it's really particularly meaningful to the Mexican Catholic community here in Dallas, as Our Lady of Guadalupe is the title given to the miraculous apparition of Our Lady to St. Juan Diego in 1531 in an area outside of Mexico City. At the time, the Aztec Indians were pagans. They worshipped a whole lot of gods. They were involved with human sacrifice and a lot of things of that sort. And then they were interacting with the Catholic Spaniards, and there was a whole lot of conflict. They were on the brink of war. And thanks to the instruction and the presence of Our Lady of Guadalupe, within about 7 years, not only was that war averted, but about 6 million Catholics were brought into the church. 6 million native Aztecs were converted to Christianity, which is an incredible thing, as very little progress had been made up until that point. Our Lady of Guadalupe has been titled the patroness of Mexico as well as all of the Americas, the protectress of the unborn, star of the new evangelization, and now patroness of the Diocese of Dallas.